Hi, Megan.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's just you and me, Ross. We're going to have to
Yeah.
do... Oh, no. Stephen's here too. I was about to say, you're going to have to do rubber guard now.
Hi, Steve. Yeah, I would have had to. No excuse. Just not very good at rubber guard.
Well, you're never going to get better at things that you're not good at if you don't practice them. So I'm just here to support your personal development.
I'm practicing my wrestling at the moment.
And how's that going? Useful?
Hard.
As useful as
Wrestling's
rubber guard
hard.
would be?
Well, I mean, don't have an answer for that. Susie's late. She's coming.
How are things going in your household?
There she is.
I'm not late.
How fast did you run?
Pretty fucking fast because on most days I myself. I'm a little bit moist for the past today.
Moist.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you got things. What we got? That's good. What's up with that?
Alright. Here's the branding thing.
Sweet. All right, let's get started, shall we?
What are we learning today, Ross?
No. Do we have any? Not rubber
Rubber
guard.
guard.
Not rubber guard. Do you have any
This will be
requests?
the hill that I die on.
I swear I did rubber guard the other day, and I did tarot platters for you.
You did, but do you hear anyone else here giving suggestions?
Stephen. Yeah, well, I mean, if we have a vote, you are literally 50% of my student base at the moment.
I'm actually probably not going to attend on Monday either because I have a personal event, so I'm sorry.
It's all right. Not long before the gym. They reckon the gym's going to be open July the 4th.
Surely not for jiu-jitsu.
Well, so we'll have to initially run socially distanced classes.
It's just not possible.
We'll try.
Solo drills.
Solo drills.
Gross solo drills.
The fun part will come back, I promise.
In aid of my potential move to Cardiff, probably not, but maybe, was watching videos of the team there that you suggested. They look good. There's lots of girls there as well.
Oh, yeah, big girls team. They're a really good bunch. I like them.
You got name dropped as well in the video that I watched.
Did I?
Yeah, one of the guys was like, I like training with outside of the gym. I like training with this person, this person, this person, and Ross Nicholls. And I was like, I know that man.
Hello? Oh, the internet's dropped.
Orange.
Yeah. Oh, Tom's in. Hello? Sorry, Megan, I didn't hear any of that. My internet dropped out.
Oh no, I was just saying I watched the video from the team in Cardiff and the guy was naming people that he liked to train with and he was like, this person, this person, this person, and Ross Nicholls. And I was like, oh, I know that man.
That's nice.
Apparently
Yeah,
you're a nice person to train with. I mean, I've never fucking experienced that.
It's Bryn, isn't it? So was he blonde? Or was he dark haired? So Omi would be dark haired.
Slightly, maybe like slightly lighter than my hair color.
Or I had really good rounds of Bryn. Right, let's do a bit. Set the camera. Hi, Tom.
Hi. How's it going?
Not bad. Just. What are you doing?
It's ready up.
What we did? We did a deep half guard last week, weren't we?
Yep.
Let's work some high half guard instead. Keep going up. Fix. So to get this up for a high half guard, we want to underhook the leg and hit this gable here. We can also enter K guard here a lot and look for it inverting into some leg locks. Find this particularly useful actually. So I use this, we'll start with the K guard, to pull my few sit back a little bit straight, just there. So I extract my lower leg and bring it out to hook the hip here. So from here, I continue to pull this knee towards me and throw this leg over the other side of her leg here. To get to the heel hook finish, the top pattern switches to the lower shin or the foot. We pull then those toes to the opposite hip. If she stays here and doesn't try back stepping out, all we do is punch past the toes, getting the bite on the heel, gabling or butterfly gripping, and finishing here. But it's essentially, it's a 50-50 guard entry. So if Susie was to back step now, so throw this leg, yeah, you see we end up in 50-50. So yeah, I've been enjoying this one lately. So my opponent's sitting back, I gable. Another big advantage of having your hips a long way in half guard. So extract the foot, you can do this before sometimes, comes across the hip and gable under the leg. Pull your opponent onto you. Yeah, here. So from here, this leg will get thrown over. I've extracted this leg onto the hip. I throw the leg over, catching the shin, pulling it to my hip. Now it's important when you drill this, your opponent goes with the top and the knee. They're not going to resist it in real life, they'll go with it. So you pull it into your hip. She'll back step sometime and you'll find yourself finishing in a 50-50 position. Remember, finishing in 50-50, it's safer to place your foot, your knee on the floor and have your foot, instead of overhanging the leg on this side where she can get the heel, to have it flat on the stomach. So we show you around a little bit. Here's 50-50, she can get me. This is 80-20, Lachlan calls it, foot across the stomach. So she cannot heel hook this leg anymore. That's why we turn in. This foot, when we bring this foot across here, obviously we can't step over this leg, lock up our triangle. So what we do is throw it across her body like this. Now she can't heel hook anything or attack any toe holds. It's just me on this leg here. This is a really dominant position for me. So we'll changing the 50-50 for that. We would turn in, bringing the foot across the stomach, and then shooting this leg across to the opposite hip. Both legs are protected and allows me to get on this leg.
Is your primary control more with your hand on the heel than it is on the knee? Just because it doesn't look like you've got much of a grip on her knee with the leg across?
Yeah, once it's in, it's very hard to extract. So it's not out here, providing that the knee is over my thigh. I don't really need to hold it in there. Once this is right to extract, see,
Okay.
the triangle would be enough to keep that leg where it should be.
Okay.
So what she has to do is look to split my legs before she's able to extract this.
Yeah.
So once my leg's locked up here, I don't need to worry about this 2-1 control. If I was setting this up, then I would want a double control on this leg as I am setting up this position. Once I'm in the position, I can release because I'm now controlling the primary leg with my legs, and my hands can go about looking to finish. Don't forget, you've also got your knee bars here. So if she's starting with a straight leg, you can always just turn your hips over here and finish straight knee bars in this position. Most of the time it will be heel hook finishes. Just to recover the finishes, don't forget, light on the heel, downward pressure on the toes, upward on the heel, and we look to straighten the limb here. So it's a ratchet heel hook. Down, down, maintain those directions of pressure as you straighten the limb. And then again, you get yourself. So the entry to this. So this entry works even when your opponent's standing. I really like doing it off of Delahiva guard as well. So if Susie steps in, let's say with this leg, so we're in Delahiva. I don't play Delahiva a lot in Nogi because it's difficult for us to break our opponent's posture down without the grips. So I have 2 options here now. This is kind of a recent addition, this K guard. One option would be for me to sit up on my opponent into a sit-up guard looking for single leg takedowns. Alternatively, K guard's an easy option. So we would underhook the lead leg here. My Delahiva hook would pop out and flick to a K guard hook. So we got Delahiva, K guard. So that's the movement there. Now, once we're here, we've got to get it down. Obviously, we didn't have that. It's going to get trying this leg and hook the far one. All we're going to do here is extend this leg now. So as I extend, it'll force her to put her knee on the ground. So we end up here. Her knees on the floor. If Susie just circles to her right a little bit, for a better bit, continue to circle this way. This way. So when you're doing these standing entries with K guard, the knee will virtually always end up outside your legs. This is what caught everyone out with Lachlan in the ABCCs. Is that they were ending up here, and who's going to be concerned here? But he did this. He grabbed the toes and the heel. All he did to get this knee back in is push the toes up to his opponent's butt. So doing this makes that lower knee light, makes it super easy to suck back in. Now, that knee positioning from over the other side of my thigh to inside my legs is massive, huge change.
Everyone thought they were out already.
Yeah, and everyone does. Chris started doing this just before lockdown, and it caught me out a few times. You think you're fine, you're just going to circle into a good passing position. You're really not. It's super difficult to extract your leg. So if Susie brings this knee over my thigh again into the safe place, just holding the toes and the heel here and pushing it up makes it super hard for her to extract. So if she tries pulling it out, pull it out. So this makes her knee rise, which then makes it easier for me to pull it. Pass it to the hip, then we can finish it. This is done. If the bite is on here and you're then, just tap. You're back stepping into 50-50 or back stepping into the heel hook. You're in here. This is, I don't see a way out of that. So we've got on the knees entry. So I mentioned a couple of times I like playing like a side guard where I have both my feet past my opponent and not not grapevine in the lower leg. I'll do that. This makes this entry easier because your leg is already out. So your opponent is leaning away for whatever reason. We've attacked the Kimura, we've just fallen off their neck, anything could have happened. Underhook the leg. I like placing my foot on the hip, allowing me to extract my lower leg. Off of this leg gets thrown over the other side. Now we're fully inverted on our head. We end up here. The top hand switches, grabbing the shin, pulling the heel to our hip. So we end up here. We can punch through, finishing the heel hook here. Or they'll back step straight into a 50-50. We could get the heel here. Remember, it's better to have your foot on the stomach with this leg across because it's a lot safer. Having this floating here, there is a chance of your opponent hitting toe holds on the floating leg. So left hand over my toes, please. Right hand over the heel, linking your figure of four. So like that. And these hurt, right? So your leg's fully bent. No, down my butt, like that. So you want to put like rotation instead of a straight line. So toe holds aren't a straight foot lock. It's not the same mechanics. It's a rotational application. So here, she can't get this inside heel hook and she can't toe hold that. Way safer. On a standing opponent, often done off of De La Riva. You can step in with your left leg and bend under it on that side. So we've got our De La Riva. We would be cupping the heel normally. Instead, bury this arm all the way to the elbow, bringing your ear to that foot. From here, knee stays tight to your chest. I had a match against somebody who's trying this entry on me all day. All you have to do to stop it is right hand push this heel to his butt. Yeah, now I can't invert. So yeah, if somebody does this, just do this. But here, pop the foot, hook, leg across, hook. From here, extend that second leg, forcing her knee down to the ground. So we end up here, toes to the butt, pulling that leg in, passing it to the upper hip, finishing here. Yeah. So there are 2 K-guard entries. Tom, a couple of weeks ago, you asked about leg locks off of falling when your legs get opened in closed guard.
Closed guard, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the same thing. So she's unlocked my guard, you go underhook, hook that leg comes over.
Okay.
Widen your base just a little bit so I can hook it. Hook there, straighten the leg, push the toes up, collect. Position. What do you think, guys?
Are you, when you brought her down, are you happier stopping her doing the back step, or would you prefer to kind of let her do the back step because you know you're going to end up in that 80-20?
Ideally, I'd like to finish it before the back step.
So you'd keep that left leg over to like prevent her stepping.
Well, no, there's no real way of preventing it. If they're quick, they'll get it.
Okay.
The heel is what stops at the back step, because then it will apply the heel hook. So just know that if they're quick and they see what you're going for, they might back step, making it difficult for you to get under the heel. There, you want to be early on generating that angle and turning into your opponent in that 50-50.
Yeah.
Giving them the chance to reverse the position on you.
Okay.
So what you don't want is this. Is going for the K guard. Susie, dropping the knee down, please. There. Back stepping into 50-50. Me being here, she then manages to lock up her leg, turn into me, getting this knee down to the floor, getting this foot in front of my stomach, and shooting this one across the other side. Now I've entered into a leg lock position for them.
Yeah.
So just make sure that you're ready to beat that and get there before she does.
Yeah. Okay.
We want to mix this up. So my original thought, if you got to the minute, please, was when we get this gable underneath this leg, we can use this to get this up onto our shoulder. So if you're struggling to get this leg out, you should be ready just to move to a high half guard or an X guard and start working your leg attacks from there. So maybe my hips are too close to her. I can't escape my hip to get this lower leg out. So to get this leg onto my shoulder, you don't just pull. You drop your left elbow and raise your right. So left elbow drops, right elbow elevates. You see I put that torque on the leg, which is what made her move earlier on the K-guard entry, was this twist. I was doing it with this pull, this hand pulling with the K-guard entry. Here I'm doing it by forcing her thigh down with my left elbow and making her shin rise with my right. So this knee isn't going to hit the ground. What she's going to do is just give me a leg. It's going to be something like that. So the leg pops up and we turn onto our side here. So I don't like staying flat because we can't sit up. Really don't recommend staying flat on your hips and flat on your shoulders. You want to be slightly facing this way. Now in terms of controlling this leg, you want to cup the knee and always above the knee. Don't want to cup here, just here. Your head is turning into your opponent's foot here. You don't want a lazy head. What you don't want is this leg popping off on this side. I'll show you some counters though if it does happen. So control properly, head vertical here. The best place to put your legs to hit a sweep would be right knee inside the thigh, left leg, left foot on the thigh. From here, you would kick your opponent away from you and sit up as you kick. Now you see I sit bolt upright first. Off of this, plant right leg on the floor and extract your lower leg and stand. So here and up. Try, if you keep the leg straight, she won't be able to run away and kick her leg out. So open in here. If we find ourselves here, she will get swept. Be conscious of flying triangles. Don't leave this arm open. The other option she has is to turn away from me, bending the leg here. And now you see, because of this cup above the knee, try getting your leg out, sir. Try getting it out. You can't. You all right?
Yeah.
So here, if I cup here, try getting your leg out. Gone. Always cup above that knee when you're finishing these technical stand sweeps. They're way harder for them to get their leg clear. Don't double up on your control on the lower part of the leg. You've got to have a control on the thigh, upper part of the leg, and a control on the lower part. So, underhook, gable, left elbow drops, right elbow turns up into the shin, and she's doing exactly the right thing. Whenever you feel that torque, just give them a leg and look to react and pass off of this position. So, just move your weight here. Always turn onto your other side. It's a lot easier to stand off of this. Don't wait here immediately. look to kick this back leg away. Sometimes your opponent will stand up totally, so stand all the way up, so both feet. Yeah. Now this makes it quite a bit harder to finish the sweep. They manage it, but it does. So we could switch back to K guard off of this and look for leg entries, or switch to X guards, looking for leg entries and sweeps off of this. So if this knee was stayed down on the floor, I would switch to this leg position with my right knee in and my left foot on the thigh. It's the easiest configuration for your legs, just to kick away immediately. You don't want to be fiddling around with an X, allowing them time to stand up before you're able to push them away to finish the sweep. Just get this knee in, here and here, kick away, and stand up for your sweep. Does anyone use that much? I used to spam that hard at blue belt.
Getting up that way with the leg on the shoulder.
My old coach made me call it 2 points for sure.
I've used it once or twice because I remember Caesar showing it. But I know that it exists and I know that it's a thing there. But every time I do it, I fucking bottle it.
It's quite similar to the X guard, isn't it? So yeah, I use that quite a lot. Yeah, I use that one quite a lot.
I can't hear you, Steve. Can you turn it up? I'll that'll be better. Everyone else.
Ah, that's why it's dropped.
Oh, he's cut off.
Yeah, his internet's a bit iffy today.
What's in the kitchen tonight, Megan?
Sorry, I should have turned my video off. I'm eating a potato.
Potatoes.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Right. Steve, you had a question.
Oh no, it's just very similar to the X guard sweep. That was all. It's just kind of slightly different.
Oh, right. So I'll show you what I do like. So if she drops down onto this knee and starts with this leg up on my shoulder, I really like passing this leg over the other side of my head. So, and it opens up back ticks for her. So sometimes you lose this and it ends here. What I would recommend off of this, extract this leg so you end up in a crab ride. Just raise your hips a little bit. So, yeah. Cupping the hips and kicking the legs out to take the back.
I feel like you've shown us something like that when you do, though, when you grab the hip and grab the leg, and then you've got both knees behind the leg.
Yeah.
Their knee. Yeah.
You can do it off of deep half guard as well. So if you pop back up. So this leg is straight. That's good. So sometimes Susie will get this leg over my head or I'll duck underneath it. So I can work the crab rides off of deep half like that.
Yeah. Then
look to cup the hips, pulling them onto you, kicking their legs out. Make sure your legs don't get tangled up underneath you. And then sweeping by taking the back there. Just raise your hips a little bit, it'll give you more space to kick your legs out. So, yeah, if this leg ends up over the other side of your head, you want to be moving a crab rides to look to threaten the back. If you miss that and the hips end up on the floor, you've got body locks and heavy passing positions. So, this knee's on the ground. This leg is straight. To stop her from running away, I would keep this for a second. I would then extract my lower hook, placing it on the other leg for a full crab ride. Off of this, my main objective is her hips, right? So I release I sit up and I catch those hips. Sometimes they'll run away from you. When that happens, you follow them up into this body lock and chase them down.
Reset.
Yeah. Let's try over this side. So that's one of the advantages of the X guard. It's a little bit less fiddly. Get into that crab ride. So this hook would stay in the same place. Sometimes you lose this. Make sure you keep hold of this leg. Full crab ride here. Catch the hips. And now gently kick the legs out. And take it back. So, when you're
Pop
off,
quiz.
yeah, quite a lot of techniques in. So Susie Gables drops top elbow, raises the bottom one. This pops up. She turns, she never flatten her back because you can't get up there. So you always turn heavy this way. Good. Now, this is for the technical stand, good leg position. Nice. For X guard, this leg will be behind me with the foot inside. So open your hips, foot in, and the other foot will be in there. Put your foot there.
Where?
Good.
You can't just stay there.
It's there. Point it. So
With
Susie
your
allows
eyes.
the leg over her head. When this happens, she'll keep that leg there for a second. Her right foot, which is exactly where it is, her left leg will come out. Right first, this one out. Go crab roasted.
Sorry.
There. Get off me.
Why you embarrass me by making me do it?
Susie did it right. That's good. It didn't embarrass.
So why did you do the crowd? Why weren't you a flying crowd?
I tried running away. See if you could follow me up into a body lock and like slam me.
Because it's one of the most demoralising ways to have your back taken in the world.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel like you're wrestling with your dad and you're 5 years old.
I had someone flip me by my belt and take my bag.
Not fun.
Number one, most demoralising. Right? I just straight got picked up and flipped over.
Was that me?
Only I can demoralise you. Give me a leg. I'll take it back.
Okay, so she's able. She's not doing it right, which way that leg isn't moving. Rotate. That's it. So right elbow up to your hip. Like that. Good. So now keep turning. Good. So now she's got this kickback she wants, or she can switch to an X. So one and in. Now you see how her legs are narrowing. That's really bad with the X. You really want to keep your hips as wide as possible. Now she passes the foot over the other side of her head. Good. Out, catch the hips. Like that.
Got it, guys.
That was really good. So sometimes they'll stand up. Actually, very common because it makes them a lot heavier to kick this this back leg out. You can achieve it, but it can be a bit hard sometimes. So X guards do give you that option. So if they were standing, I probably wouldn't stay here too much. I'd switch to an X. I'd look to kick this back leg out, trying to get their hands to base onto the floor. Yeah, so now this gives me options. Yeah, I think you can switch to K guard again by switching this leg up to the near hip and throwing the leg over. Of course, you can still hit your technical stands here, but they are a little bit harder. So the technical stand would be foot wrap around the hip, foot wrap around the knee, both feet flared as hard as possible to get that control. Kick away and sit so you see you work that knee down to the floor. All the way up onto your elbow and get your hips out from underneath them. What you can do as the defender in this situation, Rogerio always used to do this to me. It was really frustrating. My like highest percentage sweep, yeah. Is pull the lower leg up to your hip. So like, just like oh. So now just hold that. So just with one hand. So hold that leg there. So now as I try standing, I can't get up. So Susie will then be able to get her weight back onto this leg. So I can't stand, so she throws her weight back onto this top leg. So
backwards or?
Let's just stand on it, Susie.
What?
Stand on the leg. That's it. Yeah.
You didn't say stand up, you said put your weight on it.
What are legs for?
Kicking.
To stand on.
Kicking.
Go back there. So yeah, catching this back leg can save you. Don't wrap it up. Just keep the heel up off the ground. So here, pop it a bit high. There. So now I can't finish the sweep here, and Susie will be able to get her weight onto this leg, and now she can start passing. That's why you've got to be fairly quick. After the entry into the position, if you want to go for that technical stand, you kick away immediately, get them using their hands to base onto the floor, and you'll be able to stand up. Don't chill there. If you do and they start standing up and they're pulling that leg out, you might have to look for different things. So, damn it, I'm not going again. Where to now? This butterfly hook can be useful to bring their weight over in this direction. So this gable here, and bringing this leg up on top of us, having the butterfly hook already in here, can help us get the weight over to that side. So you see how I extended my hook? Yeah. Knee inside, foot on the side here. Absolutely worst thing you can do is run away. Why? If Susie starts turning that way, look at the door, her knee is now pointing directly at my hip. Right? Just stay there. So from here, right leg. Here. I'd lock up my triangle. And now I would start hipping through for a knee bar. That is given to me. This is the only reason why I knee bar white belts. They shouldn't be running away from this. Don't try pulling your leg out. Obviously, I do it nicely, but you should always turn back into this to keep your base solid. If you turn away and run away, your knee will turn down to face your opponent's hip, and you're giving them a leg lock. So Susie stands up and gets up onto the knee again, please. So here, if she was to look at her correct reaction would be here or to stand up. Bad reaction would be to turn around here, to switch to the knee bar. Right leg will come out to the hip. Lock up my triangle. I guess it depends which way she falls, maybe. Sometimes they'll fall off to this side, or I'll manage to fall, get them to fall to their right. So she falls over here. And finish here. If she falls the other way, I'd switch my legs around with my head over the foot. This is important. When we're finishing knee bars, we don't want the knee to end up facing away from our hip. So once it's facing us, to keep that knee facing our hip, our head will be wrapped over the foot, and my hand will be grabbing her heel. So now if she tries pointing her knee away from my hip, it won't go anywhere. So if I just show you. So you see my head glued on those toes, like that. If she tries turning, it doesn't turn. You don't want to be having the foot out in front of you. Her defense is to turn, point her knee away from me, and now she's virtually out of the position. Yes, I could probably switch to a 50-50 off of this, but she's defending. We pop up again.
You know when you get those knee bars behind your armpit,
Yeah.
like when you swim underneath and you get the arm underneath you, and then you use that as your
Oh, yeah.
your hands.
So, get this up. Yeah, she turns away. So, leg over. If she falls onto her left side, I would triangle this way, right? So that would be lower knee on the ground, triangle here. You can finish, of course, by passing the heel, your armpit, and then hipping through here. What you can try and do during this transition is to turn this way so her knee will point away from the hip.
Okay, so it's just managing her not having a transition point, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if they're good, they're going to be trying to turn that way, like the whole time. But that will become second nature. You'll feel uncomfortable having your knee facing your opponent's hip. So you see the way I've locked my legs up? I find myself now in this 80-20 position with the foot across with my foot on her stomach. So we can use the threat of that knee bar to move to our inside heel hooks from 80-20. So let's look at, so pop that one more time. I get this up on my shoulder. She kicks me in the head. Good. She turns away trying to extract. Here, I'm cupping the knee. Leg comes out. Sometimes we can get them to fall this side. So they fall on our triangle locked up here. And we can finish knee bars here. We can also pass it to the other armpit. And again, looking to work to 50-50 or 80-20 for this inside heel hook. So, yeah, guys.
I have a quick question.
Go on then.
Did you see Nicky Ryan's fight at the weekend?
Oh, well, he lost, didn't he?
He lost. And whichever one of the two Rotolo brothers that was fighting him, I don't know which one it was, just like kept him under so much pressure, he just didn't have any chance to do any offense. But what I'd not really seen much of before was he was constantly standing on Nicky's bottom leg.
Yeah.
As he was passing. And it just looked like such an odd way of, like he completely nullified everything Nicky was doing. It looked like he had so much weight on his leg that he couldn't move.
Yeah. You lie on your back. It chaps
I see.
this.
Yeah.
So it's like as soon as he tries like to move away or sit up or anything, it really kills the distance management, and they're very rangy.
Yeah.
Horrible, yeah. So what they're looking to do here, they can look to leg drag They can knee cut, but they're always looking to dance off their passes. That's really where they're super effective.
I mean, the fitness level he must have, because he was just going at him for like the whole match. It was pretty incredible to watch.
16, 17, this should be half my age.
Under half my age.
So they can look to leg drag, but it really kind of checks your opponent's hip movement.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating. I think actually my guard would work quite well against them. So if you stand up. Because my leg is always living outside the line of this hip.
Yeah.
So as soon as you try stepping on that leg,
yeah,
it's just on. So provided you keep that here close to your butt, it won't get stood on.
Whereas Nicky was trying to fish that leg in to try and get a normal half guard position.
The other guy who would be who plays a similar guard to me is Eddie Cummins. Okay. So this foot is on the open side of the body.
Yeah.
It would make more sense for you to try and step in on top of this leg, but there, that would open our shin on shins.
Yeah.
And elevations to single leg X. So yeah, if she was stepping on this leg, I'd cup the knee, I'd throw her weight forwards, which I'm not going to do. It's going to break her nose. It's not going to happen. She steps like this, I underhook the leg, and now I'm into my high half guard again. Yeah, no, I'm going to play with those passes a little bit, and I'll have a watch at the match to see.
Yeah, it was a really good. It was a good fight, and Gordon was obviously good as well. I mean, he's a total asshole, but
oh my god, he's coming out with more like.
Mate, all of them, Tom, DeBlas, like the whole crew of them are just like, it's painful to like listen to them talking.
Oh, yeah, he's like openly, like he put what the post he put up yesterday. I showed you. It's not systemic racism. You just don't work hard.
Yeah.
You're lazy. Like you want handouts. Like.
I actually stopped following Gordon Ryan on Instagram because the posts that he puts up before this were just gross. Just complaining like that, like people who are homeless just like don't try hard enough.
Did you see the Epstein one?
No.
Oh my fucking god!
What did he say about it?
So he said it was what I just finished watching Filthy Rich. What Epstein did was 1,000% wrong, but
oh no,
those girls were getting flown around the world, living the best.
They were trafficking children.
Like,
dear Lord, how do you come out and say that?
Like his Instagram now is like just full of right-wing, like far-right talking points.
It's really bad. And one of my mates from work, who's a lawyer, Tom DeBlas, put a picture up the other day saying that he's largely responsible for his jiu-jitsu. And I was just like, oh, it's such a horrible connection.
What did he say?
Like my friend from work, he's been a black belt at Henzo's for like 10, 15 years or something. And he's the one basically that taught Tom a lot of stuff, like early doors. And it's just a sad connection now.
Yeah.
They're just a bit weird.
It's very strange.
It's a shame because they're like the pinnacle of jiu-jitsu as a team, and they're just arseholes.
See, not all New Zealand leaders can be great. Because isn't John a Kiwi?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't raise.
But Megan, it's because he's got a penis. If he was a woman, he'd probably be all right.
I know. God. He does though. You know what he does have, which I'm sure he's like a fantastic coach, and like he is obviously a fantastic coach, but he's got quite thick ankles. You know how like when women go through menopause and they get the thick ankles where their ankles are the same width as their calves. He has that.
Got ankles. That's not good.
Menopause ankles.
It's a shame.
Right, I'm gonna stop talking shit now.
Right. Have a lovely weekend, guys.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.